Hi, is it what? Do you feel you have enough time? No matter when or where you ask me, my answer would be no. But everyone only has 24 hours. How should I solve this problem? Back to 2024, I just finished my exchange in Korea and I had a 4 months holiday because the vacation of my home university and the Korea university are different. By that time, I went back to Hong Kong and I took on some part-time job which led me eventually to an office job. Later, I switched to remote work. I've calculated that I could work 3 to 4 times a week, use the remaining time for study and self-preparation. I originally thought this would make my life easier because I could make Hong Kong dollars and spend Japanese yen. But the reality was opposite. I was overwhelmed. I felt tired for that life because I felt I didn't grow any personality. I didn't improve anything. I've tried to buy back my time. I work 3 to 4 days a week. Mainly was because I need to pay monthly rent. I have 3 rooms, but I found that whether the projector room and my bedroom were separate or combined, I wouldn't feel any difference. So I tidy up both rooms and take some photos, upload to the Facebook to ask any one of my friends would like to share the rent. And luckily, I found a person who shared the room for me, which is my roommate right now. Although some spending like electricity, gas, and the water fee was getting more, but the overall spending for me is cheaper. So after this move, I could work 2 to 3 days. I bought back some of my time. And the book I'm going to introduce today is Buy Back Your Time by Dan Martell. Dan Martell is a very famous person among many companies. His job is coaching, like he coached CEOs or some decision makers, teaching them what the strategy. And this book, he summarized how he used time effectively. Initially, he wrote this book for decision maker or company's owner, helping entrepreneurs who are physically or mentally exhausted to find better ways to operate and fall back in love with their company, with their job. But I'm not an entrepreneur, I'm not a company owner, how can I apply this one? I'm going to share 3 strategies from this book. They are time auditing, dream matrix, and the last one is the best strategy I think in this book. I'm gonna tell you later, so if you want to know it, keep watching. So our first strategy is time auditing. How do you decide if something is worth you to do by yourself? This book provides a scale for us to follow. Look in this photo. There are high value, low value, and something we must do by ourselves, something we don't have to. So for time auditing, we should only do something high value, or the task it can only be finished by ourselves. For the rest, we outsource it. But first, how we define high value? Because the definition for everyone is different. $10 may be high for me, but it may not high for a CEO. So how to define, is it a high value work or a low value work? We need to know our value. So if we want to buy back our time, we need to know how much our time is worth per unit. And the next question comes up. What percentage of work is worth doing yourself? I went through some research online, and this is a conclusion by MIT lecturer Joseph Hesma. He has calculated that to keep the cost balance and to earn profit, employees are usually paid 33% to 50% of their base hourly rate. Once we have this number, we can look for things that can be outsourced. Taking 2 families I know as an example, one is my extended family in Hong Kong, and the other one is a family I know in Japan. In traditional Asian societies, men working outside and women handle home stuff. But of course, with the rise of the gender equality, the percentage are getting lower year by year. And even families are the opposite. Women work outside and the men handle home stuff. So what I wanted to bring up is this single income family sustainable? Is it healthy? Of course, billionaire or some people, they have a great job. They can handle all the financial problem for their family. But does it work for all families? At least for me, I don't think everyone can do it. And the other couples from Hong Kong, they also have a daughter, but they took care themselves very well. They both have jobs. So how can they do it? They hired a housekeeper and domestic helper. Let's do some maths. Both of their monthly salary are 30k Hong Kong dollars, and hiring a housekeeper costs less than 10k Hong Kong dollars. So it means if one of them lose their job, they lost 30k, but if they hired a housekeeper, they only lost 10k. Coincidentally, 10k is the right amount of 33% out of 30k, which perfectly match the 33% to 50% benchmark. But of course, by that time, they didn't calculate the maths. They just sit down together and ask each other, does anyone want to be a housewife or house husband? And of course, both of them say no. That's what this thing happens. What I wanted to say is, their job provides more value than staying at home be a housewife or a house husband. So they outsource the housekeeping stuff, do something they should do, Well, of course, some people may think they want to stay with their child. They don't want to miss any moment of their baby's growth. I don't have any opinion in it. It's the trade-off. They have to pick one side. I'm just share how time audit can apply to everyone, even in a normal family like this. And there are many examples in our life. In a restaurant, we buy some foods. Of course, we buy that skills, like maybe we cannot cook it, and even we can cook it. We buy our time. The whole process I cook the food, it may take an hour or 2 hours for us. However, when we go to restaurants, we order some foods and after 15 minutes, the foods come here and we eat. It spends less than an hour. And also, takeout costs more. We can also think about this way. Like, we don't have to go out. We just stay at home and someone will deliver the food for us. So it also means we buy back our time. During that time, we can do the stuff we need to do. And the food will be delivered directly into our home. So we need to pay tips for them. Our second criterion is the DRIP matrix. Look at this photo. DRIP stands for delegation, replacement, investment, and production. This criterion no longer judged solely by hourly rate. It also balancing the scale of mental health are based on monetary value and energy consumption. This book mentioned that anywhere in the replacement quadrant and the delegation quadrant should be outsourced. We only focus on investment and production. Some example for delegation works like invoicing, administration work, or replying emails. And some examples for replacement role like training, team management. For investment roles, it can be anything you like. Watching books, stay with families, hang out with friends, and hobby businesses, anything you can gain energy. For production roles is when you make some big decision, so make sure you spend the time in investment and production role. However, this is from the perspective of the CEO or decision makers. We don't have to make the future plan for a company. We cannot hire someone to reply email for me, nor I don't need to arrange the staff training for a company. So how should we apply this to our lives? My answer, we should do things by their importance. To handle low value job when our energy is low. To handle high value job when our energy is high. What I mean unproductive is the first two quadrant. What I mean productive is the last two quadrant. And our first strategy, it may sound creepy, it may sound scary, is clone ourselves. It's like something we can only see in the movies, right? But in fact, it has always been around us. Like you, like me, we're all clone. I'm going to introduce the most significant examples, which is the assistant for some CEO. They reply the email for them, they may plan the schedule for them. How they can do it, they know what their boss think. So it's partially clone. And next one, all of us are clone. What I mean us, in here, I mean employee. All employees are clone. Let's think about it. A startup company only has a few members. They're basically the future CEO, officer level, and when a business reach a certain level, they need to hire new employees. In some cases, it may be for new skills that they don't know, they need to fill the gap. But in other cases, when a company already have all their basic function, they hire a new employee, they don't look for new skills. They are prepared for a future expansion. They are trying to clone themselves. There is a perfect example in 2025. Mr. Beast. I know someone might not like him, but no doubt he's the biggest YouTube channel on the world right now, right? And he doesn't only have one channel, he has gaming channels, he also has TikTok, Instagram, or many social medias account. Besides that, he also runs side businesses like Feasibles, Field Stats, reality show called Beast Game on Amazon Prime Video. These all things are in different industry. We both only have 24 hours. How can he manage this many things in different industry? He cloned himself. He hired a guy called Tyler. He asked him to live with himself for 2 years, learn how he think, learn what he do, learn everything about him. And now he succeed. Well, but we're not Mr. Beast, and we're not CEO. How can we hire someone to work for us? Well, but luckily we live in 2025. There is always AI everywhere. There are some chatting bots like ChatGPT, Gemini, Grok, or DeepSeek. We can ask them to work for us. If we want a daily news, we can ask Perplexity to do it. We need to send 100 emails sometimes. We can consider a format and ask an AI agent to do it for us. Time is priceless. I hope this video can give you some inspiration. We've discussed 3 strategies from this book, which was time auditing, drip matrix, fix and clone ourselves. Don't fall into a BC trap. More input, more output. This kind of falls only lead to exhaustion. If the BC task is wrong, no matter how efficient we are, it's useless. So make sure you focus on the right thing you should do. That's the first step to buy back your time. The value is different to everyone. Some may think it's money, some may think it's their family, some may think it's their health. It depends on you. But make sure you spend your time in the right thing. And please tell me your ideas. Leave some comments, I would like to hear it. See you in the next video.